Hopefully everything went well. Let's have a look on Gleba. Oh, looks like we finally got all of the landfill we needed. Gleba is defended. A little bit worried about you, though. So, honestly, just going to go and cull that nest over there. Let's make sure that spores don't bring you down to the undefended part of my base. That is a big stomper. That is a medium stomper. That is a dead big stomper. Come back here, you. Come back. There we go. Mischief is now officially managed. I love how they're trying to break the stomper shell. Is that some sort of like attempt to hatch the baby stomper that is currently held inside? It'd be quite cute if it were. Like, worry not, brother, we shall free you. Come, let us drive back the Xenos together. That's us. We're the Xenos. Yep. Okay. Gleba is safe. The galaxy is at peace. All right, then. We want to finish the lines up here. And also the inserters, and indeed the chests. Then we need to get down hither. Now, it would be amazing if I could have the stations aligned as well. The input stations. I'll see if I can do it. Am I truly out of inserters again? No. There we are. They have to think. They're not sure if they want to do the work yet. That is a mood. So, naturally, I start with the most unnecessary stack. Oh, wrong one. But yeah, if I want to hook that up, I would need a station here, 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 and here. Because I intend to route the iron plates back around for the steel ones. I'm being stolen. I didn't know that you could steal Spidertrons. We are actually being stolen. Wow, I didn't know the Spidertrons could be overwhelmed by belts. That's glorious. I love it. I wonder if pentapods get affected by belts. Because obviously there are some mean defenses which rely on just pushing biters back. But I wonder if you could realistically do that with pentapods. Also, chat, while I was away, or rather, when you were on tea break with me, what did you bring back? I brought a very tall, thermally insulated cup of tea. Which you got to be careful with. So certain blends do not handle that very well. Like, they are perfectly balanced, as all things should be, etc., etc., to cool with the tea. But if the tea stays too hot, it doesn't do the actual tea very well at all. Some lime Pepsi. You know what? I can definitely get behind that. I'm thinking I actually want to bring this rail line down here and along instead. Yeah, I think we do. I think we do. I can manage it thus. Plonk you there. Actually, plonk you there and plonk you there. I've been told that these can navigate over cliffs using the elevated rails. Here's where we find out if that's true. Looks like you can. Glorious. However, this is going to have to change down here. Consequently. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to need a roundabout over there. As much as I don't like doing that. Can you extend that elevated rail so it goes above the tracks and avoids the intersection? Well, I'm going to be changing the intersection. So that wouldn't really be useful to me. But you would be able to, yeah. Yeah, to answer the question you asked and not the one that I think you're asking. Yes. Yeah, these are just going to have to be chain signals on both sides, because otherwise, shenanigans. That will work. Oh, yeah. I think that looks a bit better. All right. I'm going to take the power, route it along here, connect it up over there, get rid of this little area. This is going to have to connect up with this line down there instead. Or something to that effect. Oh, did I not bring any of those? Oh, am I not making them yet? I might not be making them. Rightio. Let's fix that, shall we? Problem is, these take a couple of interesting ingredients. I need rails, refined concrete, and Steel. So I'm going to need to make refined concrete. Am I remaking refined concrete here? I am. Glorious. Okay, so that's being popped into a chest, which is perfect for us. Rails are being made over here. Okay, we've got everything I need, more or less. So to make this one, which is the only one I really need right now. Do this. Set you up to make those types of rails. I then need the steel, and I need the refined concrete. Now, the steel I could siphon off. It's awkward, but I could. But honestly, it's probably way easier if I don't. Instead, I just request it and provide it. So I want 1 load of steel, 1 load of refined concrete in here. Oh, yeah. And then that will make everything I need. Let's go and get that all set up first before I do anything else, because I'm changing pretty aggressively the layout of this area. Yeah, Space Age definitely gave refined concrete a use here. Hey, Otakustozo, how you doing? Yeah, green tea very much. You can burn green tea very easily. Green tea is quite delicate. Most black teas are a little bit more hardy, but even then you're going to scorch the tea. So, well, scorch is the wrong word, but you're going to burn the tea, and it's going to affect the flavor profile. It's just black tea, I find, typically has a strong enough flavor that isn't as destructive to the overall tea. Make the box lives a little easier. Got 1, we've got 2, I need 4. There we go. Yeah, the spider legs on the belt, I love it. Again, I wasn't aware that you could overwhelm a Spidertron's ability to stay in one spot by just using belt like that. It's kind of glorious. But that does make me wonder. Is it possible? Are we going to trap the Spidertron? I need 1 more. There we go, we're good. Right, let's go stand down here and see if it pulls the Spidertron along. He's trying. He really wants to... No! Stop kidnapping! Bad! Naughty belt! I mean, it's at least self-writing, but that is funny. That is perfect. No kidnap! It seems to say. Some of us are trying to do a job. Spooterbot treadmill. I mean, with this many legs, I suppose. What? Yeah, they're all empty. Cool. Now, I have not fully set up the lights here, which is something I do need to do. So let's get that sorted first. Before I cause an accident. There we go. Right, this line is now completely cut off. This line does go up there and does connect to the rail. Sorry, the roundabout. The rail about. Make sure the power's connected, and this is good. And let's throw down a radar just for good measure so I can see this intersection. Alright, there we are. Now, no train should be trying to take this turn because there's no copper to be delivered. The station is currently disabled. So we now have freedom to set this up properly. That is so much nicer. Now that we actually have the means of going over cliffs with rails, this is going to make things so much nicer. I mean, of course, it would still be a lot easier if I could simply delete the rails, but... sorry, the cliffs, but... that is not the universe we live in. Why no nukes? I'm not gonna remove a cliff with a nuke. Okay, I'm not gonna be that mean. I refuse. I'm not gonna swat a fly with a tactical nuclear weapon. And while cliffs are slightly more annoying than and slightly bigger than flies, actually no, I take it back. Slightly bigger than flies. I'm not gonna do it. But what if it's a shield wall? Okay, maybe I'll use the family atomics for that. What are 2 flights? I mean, now we're getting into grey area territory. Aavak, I'm not even sure that's an option. I mean, I could always try if you really wanted to. Have we started planting trees to eat more pollution yet? Not yet, actually, but that is a good question. That is a good question. Now, the tricky part is we are now very much on a timer because the base is completely out of copper. Only the copper that's currently in the system is going to work. Hmm? Ah. Sheilab has brought the fuzzers in for their playtime. All right. We want to remove whatever's left of the rails that we've got over here, and then we can start laying things down properly. First is going to be to restore copper. That one has to be the first priority. I also lack the stack inserters, which is a bit of a pain. Fridrun, are you collecting stack inserters? You are. Good, good. Is Novice requesting stack inserters? It is. And it does in fact have them. Am I not requesting stack inserters? I must not be. That's my bad. Okay, well. First things first, let's set up the station. So, we want the request the station lined up to this. Let's say about there will do. One train, request copper ore. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to make this work. We'll see. This might align. Yeah, it very well might align. Or not. Yeah, we'll see. But from the output point, all trains need to get down to there. I do wish with the new rail, says California, that like in Satisfactory, where I can toggle between cardinal directions and the newer freeform style. Yeah, that would actually be kind of useful. So I want this about here. And the next one should be about there, I'm going to say. Yeah. That lets the trains out of their various stations. Now, I do not intend to hook this up to power just yet. First, I want this to be able to actually offload up here properly. As long as that's the entrance to this chain, I don't need to worry too much, but I will add an extra one just up here, just to make sure that the trains get in there a little bit faster. Right, let's go and hopefully request all of the correct bits. Now, I might want to add in a radar up here, though I suppose if the radar here would likely cover it, if I'm honest. All the gubbins are on the way. Cathonia says, I may be in the minority, but the new rail degrees you can build at look ugly on map view. Think? I don't know. I think it depends. I think it depends on how you've used them. I think you could definitely have a setup where it is, you know, ugly to see. But, yeah. I think it very strongly depends on that one. Right, now what I want over here is... This will split in two at the top. So I do want, again, 4 of them combining up along here to a 4-way balancer. This one manually. That one will bridge down to just 2. Yep. And we want to filter the output here. But flip that one. And then these 2 lines on either side. And the same on that side. We want bridges again. Let's get up there and hook that up. Going to want to flip it, as we will almost certainly need it to be flip there. These 2 as well. There we go. I want this here, 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 and here. Undergrounds. The reason why I'm doing this one, laying this manually, is so that I can make sure it looks nice. That's the only reason. You can, of course, do that automatically. Right, let's try and get this one station fully set up. And then, at the very least, I'm still going to need to make a drop-off station for the copper. Oh, have I not got the... Yeah, I should do. Have I already used up all of them? No, good. At the very least, the copper can start flowing again. The way I'm going to put the drop-off points, I don't... Well, I'm going to have a lot more room thinking about it, because I will have taken away the smelting stacks. Aries, are you having a funny 5 minutes? He's loving life right now. He's just doing a weasel war dance against himself, which is quite impressive. Yeah, losing the whole copper smelting array is long overdue, frankly. So we can say goodbye to all of this. Goodbye. Well, I guess I can have you still be part of the network. As for this one, though, if I want this one on the network, I'm going to have to connect it up some way like this. Now, at this point, we don't actually use any more coal up here. So I may as well take that out. There we go. And it's all gone. Boop. Nice. Right, let's get... got all of these. We're waiting on a couple to get done. I'm not going to wait for those. No real reason to wait on those ones. We have cleared out a large chunk of stuff in here. And considering what the requester station looks like, I could easily have one of those just there for copper straight away. It's just I don't want to have that one on the go for too long before I've got everything else set up. Oh, yeah. Thunk. Right. Now then. Let's get copper going. And we're good. I think we're going to use a long pole to connect these two. Like so. And likewise down here. And that should give me everything. That at least, well, actually, it'll bring the entire smelting array online. Hello, Fina. Oh, Ceres. Hello. Right. Power is on. Station should be requesting copper ore. Which means there should be a train already on the way. We will see. Yep. It's collecting the ore now. Oh. Hasn't got the power for the inserters. My bad. Same down here? Yep. Yeah, all of this was shut down. My bad. I'm sorry, bots. You're just not fast enough. This is on you. We got all of the... yeah, actually it looks like we've got all of the modules too. Nice. Looks like we are just shy of the stack inserters though needed. Okay. Also... just shy of these. Yep. Frankly, I could connect them straight up as well. Right, I need to go and grab the stack inserters. Let's go do that. Oh. Why not? What are you trying to do currently? Are you outputting that there's a train there? Yep. So why are these not active? Disabled by control behavior. Oh no. Okay, well, glad I've been shown that. Yeah, that needs to be connected up. Let's just make sure that's true over here as well. Oh no, sorry, that is the right one. Tonk. Is that the same here? It is indeed. Alright, let me update these. For the umpteenth time. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to go and manually update those ones because I've already built them all. But it's not much of an... I really do appreciate the change to not needing to be there physically with wires. It took me a little bit to get used to it, but very, very much appreciate that change. Right, here we go. Copper's moving through the bed. Oh, but I am not lane balancing. That's an issue. But an easy one to fix. Yeah, it's going to be an easy one to fix. Right, let's get back then. Also, we've got a ridiculous amount of power potential here, so I'm not too worried. Right, so the way you do a belt balancer like this is... It's kind of be annoying, but... It is the way it is. Yep. There you go. That's unfortunately not balanced now, but whatever. Should be fine. Do I still not have enough stack? Oh, there we go. There we go. Just needed to wait on that. Alright. Copper is being smelted. Setting up the others is going to be more or less as easy. Okay. Now this is probably already... actually, let's have a look. This one's clearly... Well, I mean, it's summoning trains. Whether it should be or not is another question. I want to check... Where are you? Yeah, there we go. That's correctly updating. That's fine. We're dumping this stuff out onto the belt super fast, so that's okay. Getting a central column of beacons to apply some speed might be worth it. Would I be able to? Ew. Sadly, I would need it one more across. Ah, that's irritating. That being said, I could alternate them going up the row. Might be an option. Might not be a necessary option though, so we're not going to worry about it for now. Okay, so if I want to drop off the copper, which I do, we're going to need a station to accept it for now. It doesn't need to be a big station though. And honestly, copper is going to be used very aggressively, so... Do I do that or do I go for the iron? I think getting some copper into the system is more important than getting the iron just yet. So let's start with that. Of course, finding a spot for it is a problem in and of itself. Maybe around there would do. This is very hodgepodge, understand? And not how I want it to be in the end. I see that I set this up in a very different way. Vexing. Maybe I want this to be a little bit further up then. Maybe about there instead. Still isn't quite enough. That is annoying. Alright, I might have to say goodbye to these then. It's fine. We need to find where the cutoff point is for these large... There we go. Right there. I'll just let those be what they are for now. I'll set that up properly in the future. There we go. Alright, now from here I can add in another station which will hopefully fit. We'll see. Bullet train is back online. So, if I would have copper being output in this direction, that would work a little bit better for me, I think. So, copper plate. 1 train limit. Now, if I really wanted to make this a temporary thing, I could strip down the amount of chests that I use here, but... of course. Of course. Stop! Womp. Womp womp. There we go. Now, let's try that again. Technically, that will fit, though. Let's pop that there. So... copper plate, 1 train at a time, and then all the way up to here. Connect. That will have its signal there, so that should be fine. Yeah, that'll all work. All I will need is for this to connect up to the power poles, which I can do there. And the station is pretty much already built. Hello, sweetie. Oh, actually, we're not going to have enough room, are we? Ever so slightly shy. Oh, wait, no, no, no. Wow. That was neither luck nor judgment there. I'll accept it, though. That was kind of bonkers. Gloriously bonkers. It was big. That's right. Big brain planning. It was such big brain planning. I just didn't even know it myself. Right. Okay. So drop table abandoned iron mine will now be foundry. Drop table foundry, and there we go. Well done, drop table. Big upgrade. We are requesting trains. Are we calling trains? No, we are not. Not yet. Wow. Okay, they need 32,000 units. Oh, God. Oh, good Lord. Hmm. Do we want to... I think we kind of need to beacon this for speed. Genuinely feel we need to beacon this now for speed. Do I even have that many beacons, though? Yeah, I do. All right. I almost feel I need to alternate these. It's not the perfect setup, but it's better than nothing. I really should have done this first, but oh well. On the outskirts, though, I'm gonna have to alternate it in. Yeah. These ones can't reach, so... Let's just go and get those ones set up first. Where am I? Alright. So I'm going to want to request beacons. 100 of them. And speed. And while all of that's happening, I need to grab these so they belt balance. Oh, man. This one will just have to be a little bit more bespoke than I would like it to be. Sure they're all traveling in the right direction. They do appear to be. Let's have a look. Okay, they're back over here again. Do I need to deal with that first? Probably, yeah. Alright. Let's send out Spudotron. And I think maybe we're looking at a time to start upgrading the concentration of the minefields here. It's kind of a pain though, because it takes forever. Only want you to blow up the eggs. That's good enough for me. The rest are actually very unnecessary for me to take out. Let's not waste the mines for no reason. It's not whatnot. Too bad behemoths don't give resources like stompers. I mean, what resources would they give at this point, though? Help out a little bit. And that is our copper drop off. Now it is literally just a matter of waiting. Though that being said, I may have some of the beacons now that I need. So let's go and see if we can't start popping these in. Now this will spike my energy demand quite a lot, but have I got one, really? Surely not. No. How many bots do I have? I've got loads. I don't understand why it takes my bots so long to decide they want to do something. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to worry about the power situation. I think we got plenty. I do kind of wish that I'd beaconed this setup though now, but oh well. That's a lesson for the future. Go with my gut. Don't ask Stinky Chat for advice. You'd think I'd have learned that after Gleba, but apparently not. Oh, here you go, Rotrain. Here's my reactor. It's not a big reactor, but it's adequate. How much are we looking at? We've got 7.4k of the 32k we need. We're not even at a quarter yet. On the plus side, you know, we're going to have 32,000 plates. Eventually. That will run the system for a while. But yeah, we sat down, we designed a reactor on stream. Very fun, actually. I enjoyed it. To be fair, the factory's not doing a lot, so it's not actually hurting for the components yet. I am worried about the situation on the bioflux, though. Where's Pridwan? And what's Pridwan got? Only 184 on planet right now. This system shut down for a while, it looks like. Yeah, it looks like we had a mass rotting of fruit. Okay. We need to sort that out before too long. Actually, do we have... No, we do not. I've got some of the modules. I do not have the beacons themselves, though. Lack of red circuit. That's going to be the one that's run out of copper. No. Green circuits there? Yeah, the green circuits have run out of copper. Okay. All right, well, the system is much slower for now, then. On the plus side, we are getting up there. It's 8.6k. Certainly isn't the worst. It's just it could do with a lot more. We have saturated our ability to bring copper over, so it really is the speed at which we can smelt it, which is holding us back now. I do not have quality. I might do, actually. Let me go and have a look. I was gonna say I don't, but I was making them as quality, wasn't I? Further up. I might do. Well, if I do, they've been requested and cleared out. So let's go and have a look. Do I have any quality beacons? Oh. Sadly, no. Do I have any higher quality ones? Also no. Double sad. However, I'll grab that. I'll grab this. All of those. All of these. Have those. Oh wow, this is actually chock-a-block. Oh. So yes, I do, actually. Glorious science. Praise be. Not that our science is doing anything right now, but still, praise be. Looks like I need quality chests. Do these chests actually increase? Oh, they do. Huh. Well then, yes, I do need those quality chests. You're quite right. Sadly, I do not have any buffer chests. Anything in there I want? Not that I can see. Very well. First and foremost, I must upgrade the iron chests, which... Oh, it's a provided chest. I will up... There we go. Marks. Next. Actually, I'm going to pop those back in there. We need to find a special use for those. They are better, actually, for the stations, but I need a full set of them in order to make that work. Uh-oh, I didn't mean to do that. My bad. Also, my inventory seems to be full of all sorts of crap. How this has happened, I don't know. I disapprove. Aww. Well, I guess we don't have any more of those. In fact, how many of those have we got? Wow. Okay. Did I not put one of those in there? I'm sure I did. Oh. Right, so let's head on over and update a couple of these beacons. Deploy the pickup bots. Thank you very much, Road Train. So, let's grab you. And since you're in there, we'll also give you the best modules. And then you. And then, once again, best modules. And for now, I will do this manually. I want to get the very biggest bang for buck. Alright, but these ones... And I'll have a couple more to deploy. Oh, that's done. I will use these. I've got 30 of these. There's 10. And that's the lot. Okay. Since you're there, and then 1, 2, 3. I think, did I have one more? Yes, I did. There we go. Now I know I can tell them to be upgraded over time to the best versions, but I would go slowly mad watching that. flash at me constantly. That's already started to make a difference. Very happy with that, actually. Profit Murphy asks, been out of the, in and out during the stream. What do beacons do exactly? Yeah, they spread the effect of modules. They've got a diminishing return if there's lots of beacons being used, but they actually have really nice return on the effect of the modules that you install in them. They can take 2 modules and they spread that effect around. Now, if I designed this ever so slightly differently, I could have just tucked that in by 1 and had all of these beacons affecting both sides. You have no idea how strong the compulsion is to fix that, but I know that once I go to Vulcanus, I'm going to be redesigning all of this anyway, and I'm not going to spend another 3 or 4 hours deconstructing and rebuilding again. That's something I do often, I'm sorry to say, in my solo streams. Yeah. My solo streams, otherwise known as my offline, off-camera game, but I'm not going to do that here. Someone asked how many hours I have in game in total or in this particular save. In this particular save, it's on like 180. I'm not very far along because I am a slow player anyway, and I started on Gleba, which was a very slow start. But yeah, it's about 180, somewhere around there. I've lost a few 1,000 hours to the game in total, though. Something around there. Much like everyone else who's played Factorio. This is a common symptom. This game looks deep as hell. How many hours would you say you can... Oh, right, crappy game. Yeah, no, a couple of thousand. It is a deep game. It is a very, very fun game. But I will post a caveat there for some people. Like, some people will play this game and will just feel overwhelmed or might even feel bored. But if you've got, like, a puzzle-solving mind, then this game is very, very engaging. You need to go deeper. No. No. Tubman says, I have about 1,000 hours in. Even finished, there is no spoon. Still feels like I only scratched the surface. Yeah, no, that's a pretty common one. How high is the copper count? Probably not that much higher. Probably in like the low tweens. 15k. Okay, almost halfway there. That has accelerated things, thankfully. If we could get all of this beaconed up, I think we might even be pushing almost a full line down there. Oh yeah, with combinators, it's much like Minecraft and redstone circuitry. You can build computers in Factorio, and people often have. Glorious people. Right, well, for the time being, there's not a lot we can do until that first delivery of copper comes through. Now, I can technically force the issue, but I'd rather not. I'd rather let it do its thing. Because when I get involved, I introduce problems into the system. Hang on a second. That can't possibly be true. You notice anything missing, chat? Between this image and this one. It's a small thing, so I will forgive you for not noticing it. Trian, thank you ever so much, mate, for the 44 months. Rotrain, you don't get to do the derp command unless you've said what I asked. Unless you answer the question correctly. In fact, you're going straight to the oubliette. Try to circumvent the rules into the oubliette with you. Head first. Now, does anyone else? Can anyone else see the difference between these two? At a glance, can you see the difference? It is pretty hard to see. Pixels and other pixels. Okay, I'll zoom right into the bit you need to be looking at. It's got to do with the power poles. This is the left, the correct, and this is the right, the incorrect. No freaking idea. Don't worry, it's super subtle. Something wires. Yep, no green wires. The thing that is reading whether or not it should send a train is not getting to see whether or not it should send a train. Damn it. I hadn't connected all of these power poles up. So it's only reading the very first box. Or cluster of boxes. Right. Yank all of that. Who knows? Rotrain might have actually known what the problem was. It's just he didn't say why before using the derp command. And that's derped himself. Don't derp yourself, chat. Never derp yourself. Right, this should now read the correct amount. Yeah, there's 277,000 copper plates waiting. It's like, I don't know, how is there only like 16,000? It's a mystery. I've only dumped like 4 copper trains into it. How has that not resulted in an equal amount of copper plates? They're a 1-to-1 ratio. I haven't even got productivity. There should be more. It should be a more than 1-to-1 ratio. Yeah, instantly train runs like, oh, I've got work. Hooray, to be employed. Oh, what joy. God damn it. Aavak, I just wanted to say I love your content. Been watching your Graveyard Keeper series over on YouTube and love your playstyle. Oh, thank you, mate. It has been a hot minute since I played Graveyard Keeper. I miss it. Is that pointing the right way? No, they are not. Thunk. Fixed. Graveyard Keeper was amazing. I loved it from the second I played the demo. I really do yearn for another Graveyard Keeper-esque. Alright, but copper is now on the belt. Glory day. Happy are we who have the copper. Another delivery. Alright, the factory should be springing to life at this point. Green circuits are back online. All right, there we go. That was the big one. I'd love to see a sequel set in the town. Well, I mean, that's kind of what they hinted at in a way. They have kind of laid the groundwork for that sequel to exist. Yeah, I'm just lacking so much gubbins right now. The halt on the copper was painful, but we will get everything back up and running. And once this is our smelting stack, it's going to be so much nicer. Now, whether I use all of them, I'm not sure. I could, I guess. I might even be able to fit that downwards. I'll have to have a look. I can definitely get two things in here. Might even have one over here and just belt. You can see. But as one stack completes, I will set up the station for it. Since we've already got the pickup stations, that's the main part of this already sorted. That's glorious. Look at them go. Copper on every single belt. Stop playing with the mines. Children these days. We're out of belt. We're out of pretty much everything. Let's get back into the factory. But I think we may be at the point for setting up the iron. Pentapods yearn for the mind. But Daddy, I like the boom pancake. Boom pancake? God damn it. Why? Why? My lord. Hey, Leafy. How you doing, mate? All right, so we want to set up another station. We want to line it up pretty much the same. I could simply copy this and then manually... There's only a couple of spots that I need to change the... Oh, well, no, I actually have to change them all down there. Never mind, we're not going to do that. Right, so I want the input to be aligned here. This will be for iron ore. And one train, of course. And then pretty much need to do the same thing we've done over there, but here. I haven't picked up the... No, let's not copy all of that. Yep. You want to copy everything down this side. Everything down this side. Make sure I don't copy any of the controls, though. And there we are. That will be the iron train. Now, before we set that up, I'm going to shut this one off. Much the same way I did with the others. I'm just going to say something is equal to 500 or something like that. An impossible value. So disable but control behavior. Or I could just take out the station, frankly. That's another way I could do it. There we go. In fact, remove all of that. There we go. I'll just let that one empty out. Aavak, does the blueprint have the missing green wires? Yes. This one was never missing one. That one was the correct one. The one I was using to showcase to chat what it was. The pickup station was the one that was incorrectly set. So these ones. And I believe if we have a look at one of these, yeah. It's really hard to tell. But the green wire is highlighting all the way down there, which means that when I hover over there, it'll highlight every wire that's connected to it. How many have we got? 2 more full train loads. How many can we accept? Oh, plenty. We got stupid amounts of space, yeah. We'll comfortably be able to take it all. Don't say that in polite company. Right, where's us? Us is here. We've got some more beacons. We have got a couple more modules. So let's go and set all of this up. Now, realistically, I could easily have the iron and steel on this side. Because pretty much all of this is just smelting. So if I just take that all away, I could have stone brick here and iron and steel down here. That would work. There's in no way scalable, but it'll work. What? Have we run out of copper? Madness. Maybe before we go to Falcor, I should hook up some more mines, but I'm not feeling that. Also, there is not a really close copper mine. There's a tiny bit of copper over there, I suppose. I mean, I could push our boundary down. Take that copper mine. We've got another iron mine just over there. So that's not going to be a big issue for us. This one's got what? It's still got 2 million, though. I think it's just the speed that I can mine it that's the issue. I think it's more that than anything else right now. Just out of curiosity, can you check how many times I've been timed out? 46, yeah. And you were banned once, yeah, and it wasn't by accident. Don't you remember that? You dared to push Leafin's buttons one too many times. Kind of shocked you don't remember it. Also, where did 6 hours ago? I know, that's what I'm feeling. I'm like, how have I streamed for 6 hours already? You've only got like 2 hours left. Hashtag normal streamer. Hashtag good work-life balance. Hashtag you don't know if I'm joking, and now some of you are worried. Aavak remembers every person banned from stream. Yep, they go on the naughty list. Okay, we need a little bit more, but not a great deal. We've got all the stack inserters. There's mostly regular inserters that we need here. This is going to start requesting the ore, though, which is kind of a problem. Yep, there we are. Train already arrived. And the problem is it's not going to be able to leave until I can finish those last couple of inserters at the bottom. Like Hotel California over again. Welcome to Gleba. The perfect work-life balance is no life and no work. I see someone is a fan of entropy. Well done. It's not that the universe is dying, it's the universe is returning to stability and perfection. No more of that crazy discordant chaos you call heat and movement and agitated atoms. No, no, perfect silence. Everything quiet, everything dark, everything cold. As the universe was right before that beginning. Which I imagine is what it felt like. All right, let's get over there and hook that back up. There we go. There we go. That looks like a far more realistic number. How are the loadopedes doing? They're doing very well. One is eating a delicious, delicious meal of golden roasted chicken nuggets. The other one is eating blueberries. They were going to be muffins, but they weren't patient enough, so they're just eating the blueberries. They're kind of misshapen blueberries because they were halfway through being made into muffins, and then just kind of picked the blueberries out. You know, you don't always get to tell someone what they're allowed to like when it comes to food. Okay? Not sure I want those nuggets. Your dentist wants you to have them. Imagine all of the money they'd make. I think we want to set up the unloadapede over here. Control the ore. Control the universe. Control the ore. Control the universe. The ore must flow. Hello. Why do the smelted plates come out as cubes? Because cube. They're stacked. Is the actually not jokey answer. I'm using stack inserters, which, if you're familiar at all with Satisfactory, is this game's answer to Satisfactory's stackers. Oh, did I not say DSP? I'm sorry. I thought, oh, Satisfactory. I do apologize. Yeah. I did say Satisfactory, not DSP. Yeah, I meant to say DSP. I apologize. Thank you for catching that one, Duffel. Right, so we want to make sure that these are all set up correctly. About here. Not at all sure that this is going to work, however. So, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Does it work? No! Poop. Okay. Then I need to move all of that back by 1. Now it should work. Oh, yeah. Right. Now that that's in play, I actually do want one of these down here now. Just so that I got... well... Yeah, so I've got build power down here. Hook this up there, maybe? Yeah. Let's go for it. Right, so we want an unloading station. Right about there. And this one is for iron plates. 1 tray. Get one of these. Exist at the top. It can exist at the top. Then I don't need this one anymore. There we are. Alright, now I need to copy this down. And I need... That does make you a little bit more of a pain in the backside, doesn't it? You know what? I'm splitting it down to a single thing. Why don't I just do that last? I was doing it this way for an area which was not splitting. There's no real... sorry, it was laying it out in a bit of a different way. But this should be fine. I believe Road Train pointed this out, actually. I'm going to throw him in the oubliette, where I will not steal credit for something he correctly identifies, even if he is an obnoxious scallywag when he does it. Being obnoxious does not mean you're not right. However, I do need to sort that out now. Okay. I don't think they have Thanksgiving in Scotland. No. Thanksgiving is a very specific holiday, isn't it? I mean, I say isn't it? That is me feigning ignorance to make someone feel good about educating me about something, and that is so fake. I apologize. No, I know what Thanksgiving is, and no, we don't celebrate it in Scotland. There we go. Right. Iron there, iron here. Does that iron all hook up eventually, or no? No, it does not. But there's nothing that says it can't. I pointed out that your splitters are weird, and still are, because you're doing 4-2-4-2. Okay, so you'll need to explain where to look on the screen. I'm sure you're looking around here. Oh. No, I see exactly what you mean. That was... That was because I was lane balancing. These are lane balancers, not splitters. You see, as things were being extracted off this, they were invariably favoring one side of the belt all the way down. And because I had two belts, I just thought, it'll be visually interesting for me to do the lane balancing like that. That's the only reason I was doing 4-2-4 whatever. But I didn't update that down here. But as you can see, still need the lane balancer. But yeah, no, I can do this further up now. You're quite right. Could also use a 6-to-1 balancer for unloading if you look up that one. I don't like looking them up. No foul to anyone who does. But we actually had this conversation earlier. I put value in building my own because it reinforces me knowing how to. The copper line might be broken or reversed in the middle of the factory. Why is that? I'd be surprised if that were the case, but it wouldn't, you know, it isn't outside of the realm of possibility, but the factory's been running for a very long time with that flaw, if that's the case. Just where I worked on the iron. Oh, you're quite right. Yeah. Gotcha. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. Right, so. With that, we pretty much no longer need this line at all. Gonna let those lines drain, but then we will be... Oh, this is going to turn off my steel production though. Okay, never mind. We do want those for now. What I don't want is for the iron to go any further than this. Right, let's have a look. We've got an iron train that has more than... Oh. Yeah, no, it's loading up the iron. Which means that this is going to accept the iron shortly. Let's make sure that it can actually unload the stuff. Yeah, that was amazingly good eyes there, Peter Pete. Very good eyes. I don't say it enough, but chat is very, very observant. Because I think it needs to be said that it's not easy to see a small thing like that on stream with compression and everything else involved. So genuinely well done. No. I needed to flip these. Vertical. I didn't overwrite them. If you're wondering why that problem happened. I didn't use the destructive overwriting. Because there's two types of writing over something. There's one which will just, if there's something in the way or something already exists, it doesn't change it, it just builds around it. And one where if there's something in the way, it'll deconstruct it first. And I did not use the right one of those. I would have laughed if I just got taken out right there. Actual salty tea is running down my cheeks. Okay, that's looking better. Much better. And all of these are done. Iron is consumed at a staggering rate. There we go. Iron back into the factory. We still had the iron coming in from down here, so it wasn't a complete shutdown, but there we are. Why don't you balance the lanes at the start? The reason why I don't do that is because not all of them have enough room for it. Like these ones in particular don't have enough room for it, and I prefer the pattern. I don't mind having a little bit of throughput choke in favor of having something that looks nice. I do find it interesting you have extra splitters at the end of your 4-4 balancer, because I did some testing in Discord and the extra splitters at the end didn't change the amount of stuff each belt got, but certain belts did favor taking from certain lanes. It was quite interesting. Oh, that does sound quite interesting, actually. That sounds super interesting. Basically, this is getting the output from 2 belts, this is getting the output from 2 belts. I could absolutely have that happen, but now, assuming that this is unloaded, and this is the whole point, realistically, the whole point of this is that it is unloading evenly, and so all belts will run out at the same time, but assuming that that wasn't, well, I guess, actually, no, if anything goes in here, it will evenly distribute across here. Yeah, no, it's completely superfluous, but I'm not going to change it anymore. Oh, but fair to point out, though. Right, how are we doing down here? We've still got quite a lot to go. Well, that's just as well, because that gives us time to finish the stacks. Steel is up next. This is my first on Space Age, yeah. Yeah, Gleba was my first stop. That has been conquered. I'm now working my way towards getting to Fulgora. Though it is tea time, chat. It's always tea time, chat. There is never a time when it isn't time for tea. However, before we go, just so that I can have the Spidertron loading up on Gubbins, I will quickly stamp down as much of the steel smelting stack as I can. My main bus, again, this was very much just a thrown together as, you know, everything I needed so that I could get off planet in order to check out some of the new content. So this is really not not good in any measurable way. But I do have one belt for most things, but then I kind of reintroduce backups to for particularly heavy load items. And then this will eventually be stone brick. What if you're super sick with stomach flu and are in the process of vomiting? That is not the time for tea. No, it absolutely is. The tea will help. The tea will either stop you vomiting, or it'll make you vomit more. And in this particular instance, it will be a good... It's helping you cleanse. It's drawing out the badness from within. It's balancing your humors. Yep. You've clearly got an imbalance in your yellow and black bile, and that's what you need the tea to help with. Chad is not understanding. You're literally vomiting. What? And? Vomit out of your nose and drink the tea with your mouth. Just obviously. Look. The horrible, eye-watering sting of bile in your nasal cavity is worth it. Right. So we've got iron entering the system from the new smelt stack. We've got copper entering the system from the new smelt stack. The iron is significantly lower throughput simply because the copper has all of the speed beacons, whereas the iron has none of them. But I'm going to wait until I've got an entire stack. Well, actually, no, some of them are affecting half of one side of the iron stack. But I'm going to wait until I've finished all of these before I copy that over more. When we come back, going to be working on steel. As the next one on the list. Getting this one, just a couple more smelters, really. I think that's all we're waiting on. Yeah, just a few more smelters. Building a whole new drop-off station, and that one will be for iron plates specifically. So these two stations will then start competing, and that's where the priority is going to be coming in. It'll be the first time that we've had stations other than the bullet train, but that doesn't use the same system. But it'll be the first time that we've had two stations that request the same resource on the network. So we will likely see this one start getting all of the deliveries because this one has got iron there, and thus it is a very, very low priority, consequently. That being said, oh well, no, it can hold a lot, so it's a reasonably high priority, but that's going to start filling up. But this one would be a much higher priority. But we will see how that goes. All right. Time for us to step away then. Once that's in place, I'll be tearing down the steel smelter and probably looking for some way to put that down here. I may need to move it elsewhere. We will see. But then it's just the steel and then the stone brick, and we're sorted. No more need for anything else for a while. Not until Vulcanus, when we can start making concrete directly in the foundries. I believe they can make concrete in the foundries. From what we've seen of the research... What was it? Foundry. Can they make concrete? Yeah, no, they can make concrete from... Actually, they can also make these. I don't know how we're going to change this up. I might not change it up too drastically. I might just make certain things here. Honestly, there's something to be said about not making the plates at all, but instead making the molten metal and then belting that. Well, piping that, because the pipe has a significantly higher throughput than a belt would. We would be able to fit many more plates worth of metal per tile by using a pipe rather than forging it into plates or casting it into plates and then belting it. But those are going to be questions for when we get back. Right now, though, the factory has come back to life. It's producing all of the things that it needs to produce. We are happy, mostly. And we even have all of these ready to go. So I'm going to turn this off because we're probably not going to need that many in the future. And instead, we can start throwing down some tree farms along the edge of our areas. Maybe just cover these outside areas in dense forests that will absorb huge amounts of pollution. And also, well, actually, if we put it around the inside as well. That will absorb more pollution, because I am assuming the forests will die. Trees die from pollution, so we'd probably want something along those lines to handle that. We can always see how that goes, but the other thing is we can simply plant trees around the outside, and that way the trees would be able to be a hindrance to approaching biters as well. It's going to be very interesting to see how that works, frankly. And down here in the desert, no trees. But what if we want trees? We've got options. All right, tea break time. Thank you very much for your patience. Thank you for hanging out with me this evening. It is going quite well. We're almost done with our smelter stacks. The first 2 hours was spent designing them, and part of the second 2 hours as well. So now it's just a case of building the stations that will handle the input and output, and then input again. And then finally, we'll be looking to head off to Falgora, which was going to require a brand new spaceship. So, and I might redesign the Peridwen as well to make it capable of better hauling, because that's kind of what it's doing right now. It's hauling stuff for Nauvis, and I feel that the Nauvis dedicated hauler needs to be a lot bigger. Maybe I should just keep Peridwen as my personal yacht. Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. Peridwen can be nice and small and fast and punchy, but not very capable of carrying a lot of stuff. And then we'll have some dedicated haulers for each planet, so that they can bring the things to that planet needs in particular. Anyway, I've rambled on for a little bit. Time for a tea break. I'll be back in about 10 minutes. See you soon, chat.